And Tony, we appreciate your time and joining us here today. We talked some about that play-in tournament before we get to this Hall of Fame class, a trio of guys that you know really well playing with and against. I was curious what you thought about the play-in tournament. We've seen a lot of players with strong opinions on it, but what were your thoughts on seeing what we've got built up now?
Well, first, thanks for having me. I think the play-in tournament, it gives me the college feel. You know, it was cool for me when they had to do the bubble and things of that nature, coronavirus safety protocol. That was cool. But, you know, once we stepped foot in those arenas, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I just felt like, man, we should just keep it simple, stupid. And then that's how I felt at first. But the competitive side, I think it raised that bar up. You know, you look at a team like the Lakers, who was sitting at the mountaintop at one point, almost playing in. You know what I mean? It makes you take your level of play at a high, extreme high level. Because I know it's a lot of veteran guys who love to get that bye, or, you know what I mean, not even have to focus on nothing but getting healthy and going into the playoffs.
Tony, speaking of that competitive side, you played with one of the most competitive we've ever seen. The 9 new members of the Basketball Hall of Fame are actually going to be at Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort in Connecticut this weekend. You played alongside Kevin Garnett. What do you feel like you appreciated most about being his teammate?
Oh, man. First thing first, this is a big brother. The way, just pretty much him coming in with his professionalism. I was just telling a good friend of mine this the other day, like, if I could say anything in high praise, like, I took his whole DNA and brought it to Memphis. Just the way he carried himself, the way he, you know, tuned in when it was, you know, practice, the way he, you know, got his shots up early, shots up late, got in the weight room, day's work, you know what I mean? Then be a good enough guy to, you know, ask guys how they day going, you know, little old me kind of guy, you know, and it was just like I took all of that, his repetition, like everything he done, he did it the same way every day. And I think that's why he was so drilled in and being a Hall of Famer that he is now, man. I soaked up a lot from him. So, man, it was a lot I took from Kevin, but more importantly, the grit and grind, whole movement. I kind of shadowed my whole identity after him.
Movement is absolutely the right way to refer to that, as we're talking to Tony Allen, 6-time NBA All-Defensive Team member, with us here on the Goodyear Hotline on Chiney and Golick Jr. And speaking of defense, this came up earlier in the year when Draymond Green had some things to say, and I appreciated your clap back. Who stamped you? Who'd you clamp? Well, the one who we know has stamped you very publicly, the late Kobe Bryant, called you the toughest defender he ever faced. What was the biggest challenge about going up against someone like Kobe Bryant when you faced him on the court?
Yeah, you know, one of the things I always tell people when I speak of the Bean, Mr. Bean Bryant, I always look at the times that he shot the ball. You know what I mean? It never was a shot that he didn't think he was going to hit. He stayed in the seek and destroy mentality, the Mamba mentality we all know. And just knowing to not get discouraged. You get what I'm saying? See, a lot of guys have battled with him, you know, and, you know, like he said in the interview I had saw when he spoke so highly of me, he said to help. And I'm going to explain that to y'all. You know, when guys get it in the post, when Cole get it in the post, he hits you with this elbow in the shoulder. It's real quick. The referee might not even see it. The shoulder get anywhere near your stomach, I'm telling you, you might have a tomato chest. Because I'm telling you, he's going into his move. And I noticed that. So what that did was made me go in the weight room and do 1,000 sit-ups and, you know, more weightlifting, getting stronger. That was one aspect of me trying to, you know, guard him. I knew for sure I had to be physical. And just knowing that he's working on those weird turnarounds, head fakes, that was one of my Achilles heels where I couldn't stay on the ground because he's so deadly when he shoot it. I fought for a head fake. And I just over the years I grew, you know, just always not get discouraged, compete, because I know at the end of the day, one of these shots might miss, and it might be a rebound for us to either push. Crazy these games go. So I just kept that mentality that every time that I played them, never spoke to them. We never had any words, you know what I mean? And it got so clever and competitive at the time that, you know, I had to scout those guys' plays at the train. And he knew when I knew that he was going to get the ball, I would overplay. And that's when he would start speaking to Paul and Gasol in Spanish, setting up the back door. You know what I mean? I had to pick up on a lot of things just playing them, you know. And it was like I say, the pleasure was all mine. I wanted to meet him. I definitely wanted to meet him. Probably possibly start, you know, some additions to that camp that he had, you know, put a defensive method to it. I felt like, you know, we lost a good one, man, and I was definitely hurt.
Definitely. A lot of people hurt by that loss, but hopefully this weekend gets to be a celebration for so many people about the life and the accomplishments of Kobe Bryant, of Kevin Garnett, of Tim Duncan, and so many of the greats that are now getting the chance to join this hall. Tony, we appreciate your time. We appreciate the stories. Enjoy this weekend, and best of luck. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.